Okay, let's dive right into Psalm 35 today.
Sounds good.
This one, it really grabs you from the start. It's this incredibly intense plea, someone asking God, basically begging for help against enemies who just won't let up.
Yeah, there's no gentle lead in. It's immediately about conflict. The core message is God, step in,
Hmm.
fight for me. It sets a scene of, well, being under attack and needing a serious rescuer.
And that intensity really comes through in the words used. It opens with that really strong line. Contend, O Lord, with those who contend with me. Fight against those who fight against me. It's like laying down a challenge.
Exactly. And the military language just ramps up from there. Take up shield and buckler, arise and come to my aid.
Yeah, brandish spear and javelin against those who pursue me. It's vivid.
It really is. It's painting God as like a fully armed warrior. But interestingly, it's not just about the external battle. There's that personal plea too. Say to my soul, I am your salvation.
Right, so it's rescue, but also that deep internal reassurance needed.
Precisely. Safety within.
Yeah. So what are these enemies actually doing? The text gets pretty specific.
It does. And it's not just open warfare. It's described as quite insidious. They're seeking the speaker's life, plotting ruin, but the focus is on how they do it, hiding nets, digging pits.
Sneaky tactics.
Very. And the text makes a point of saying this is without cause, without reason. So it emphasizes that this isn't deserved retaliation. It's portrayed as pure, unprovoked malice.
And it seems their words are just as damaging. They're not trying to make peace. Instead, they're devising false accusations against those who live quietly.
Targeting the unassuming. But the description of their reaction when the speaker falters, that's particularly harsh.
Oh, yeah, the gloating.
It's depicted with real cruelty. They apparently gather together. When the speaker stumbles, they wink maliciously. The text even gives them dialogue, like, with our own eyes we have seen it.
Or celebrating just what we wanted, and we have swallowed him up. It's a disturbing picture of, well, enjoying someone else's pain.
Absolutely. And this is where the psalm draws such a stark contrast. Because the speaker insists they weren't like that towards these people.
Right, that's a key point. The speaker says when they were sick, the speaker mourned, wore sackcloth, fasted. It even prayed for them.
Exactly. And the depth of that past empathy is really emphasized, mourning as though for my friend or brother, or even as though weeping for my mother.
Such deep grief for them.
And these are the very people who, the text says, attacked when the speaker stumbled, when they were vulnerable and unaware. This whole contrast really forms the basis for the plea for justice. It highlights how undeserved the current suffering feels.
Yeah, that background makes the next round of pleas hit even harder. The call for God to step in becomes really urgent again.
It does. Oh Lord, how long will you look on? And rescue my life from their ravages, my precious life from these lions. It's a cry for God to, wake up and act. Awake and rise to my defense. Contend for me, my God and Lord. Vindicate me.
It's a demand for justice on a cosmic scale. And what the speaker wants to happen to the enemies, well, it's basically their own plans turned back on them.
Pretty much, yeah. Poetic justice. Shame, confusion, being scattered like chaff in the wind.
Their paths dark and slippery.
Right. And that specific image of them getting caught in the very nets they hid, falling into the pits they dug. Ruin brought about by their own schemes.
But then the opposite outcome is envisioned for the speaker and for those who are on the side of justice.
Yes, that's the hopeful endpoint. Pure joy and relief. They'll rejoice in the Lord, shout for joy and gladness, and constantly praise God, saying, "The Lord be exalted, who delights in the well-being of his servant."
And the speaker personally promises public thanks, not just private relief, but praising God in the great assembly among throngs.
Yeah, declaring God's righteousness all day long. It moves from isolation to community.
So it's quite a journey in the psalm. From that raw, desperate starting point, through describing the betrayal and cruelty, contrasting it with past kindness, and then building towards this hope of vindication and ultimately public praise.
It definitely makes you think about how such an ancient cry for justice, dealing with that feeling of betrayal, might still resonate with experiences people have today.
For sure. And maybe something to really consider is that stark contrast we talked about. The intense private suffering versus the envisioned outcome of very public communal joy. What might that tell us about the role community and public acknowledgement play in healing or vindication, at least within the world of this text? Something to chew on.